News, where we bring you the latest headlines, deep analysis, and expert commentary from around the world. Stay ahead of the curve with our in-depth coverage of global events. From breaking stories to in-depth reports, we've got you covered. This is Global Insight News, your window to a clearer understanding of the world. I am your news anchor for today, Alison Alpuerto.
And I am Jairna Vidal. From the challenges faced by migrants to the policies shaping their journey, we'll explore how movement across borders is reshaping nations, economies, and societies. Here's the look at the top stories at this hour.
First in line, we have the global migration, definitions and types, international migrants and its classification, what causes migration, and the volume of contemporary migration.
As millions of people continue to move across borders in search of better opportunities, migration has become one of the most important global trends of our time. Here's Lani de la Cruz to report about global migration.
Thank you, Jaira. In 2016, according to Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA, the distribution of OFWs across countries worldwide indicated Asia 85%, Europe 6.6%, North and South America 5.6%, Australia 1.4%, and Africa 1.4% were the leading 5 destinations for OFWs. Among Asian countries, Saudi Arabia was the leading destination, accounting for 23.8% of the total OFWs in 2016, followed by the United Arab Emirates at 15.9%. Singapore and Hong Kong had the least number of OFWs working abroad at 5.6% of the total OFWs in 2023. This report highlights the significant trends in migration and its economic and social impact on the Philippines. This is Lani de la Cruz of Global Insight News. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Ms. Lani. Now, let's delve deeper into the migration pattern of the overseas Filipino workers or OFWs, specifically focusing on why many Filipinos choose Asia as their preferred destination for work. Let's have Ms. Alison Alpuerto to interview Ms. Luisel Madrid.
Thank you, Ms. Madrid and Mr. Jerome for joining us today. Could you please share with us your top reasons why most Filipinos chose Asia as their work destination?
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for having us. One of the main reasons why Filipinos choose to work in Asia is because it has a high demand for skilled workers. It offers competitive wages and provides opportunities, which has become a hub for Filipinos.
That's interesting. Would you like to add more?
Proximity is a key factor too. Countries close to the Philippines allows us to visit our families easier. Aside from that, working in another Asian countries allows Filipinos to experience new culture, gain international experience, and broaden their horizons.
That's right. While many Filipinos choose to work abroad to provide for their families and build a better future, the journey is not without its challenges. Could you share the challenges of working abroad, Mr. Kabil?
One of the biggest challenges by Filipino workers abroad is cultural differences. It can make it harder for workers to adjust, while many Asian countries share cultural similarities with the Philippines. The worker environment and social norms can still be very different. Filipino workers often struggle to adapt the new language, workplace expectation, and communication style.
Right. If you were to ask Mr. Jerome, would you also choose to work abroad in the future?
That's an interesting question. Yes, working abroad will give me the chance to earn a higher salary and store opportunities I won't have back home.
Thank you. Back to you, Jaira.
Thank you, Ms. Madrid, Mr. Aruelo, and Ms. Allison. Now that we have understood the benefits and challenges of working abroad, we can now move forward to how international migrations help the economy of the country. Let's have Ms. Francesca Garcia to report about the international migration.
For years, millions of Filipinos have sought employment abroad, and the remittances they send home have become a critical pillar of the Philippine economy. According to the recent reports from the Philippine Statistics Authority, or PSA, the total remittances reached 239 billion pesos in 2023 of the estimated 2.16 million OFWs. 37.3% sent cash remittances amounting to 40,000 pesos to less than 100,000 pesos. Moreover, 30.9% remitted at least 100,000 pesos. On the other hand, 12.4% of the OFWs did not provide cash remittances during the period. The total remittance sent by OFWs during the period amounted to 238.63 billion pesos. This includes cash sent 187.11 billion pesos, cash brought home 44.70 billion pesos, and in-kind 6.81 billion pesos. Furthermore, international migrations helps create new business opportunities. Many returning overseas Filipinos workers, OFWs, use their savings and acquired knowledge to invest in businesses or start entrepreneurial ventures back home. This helps generate jobs and contribute to economic diversifications in the Philippines. This is Francesca Luis Lane D. Garcia of Global Insight News. Back to the studio.
After the short break, we'll be exploring the hot stories at this hour.
Isang taon pa lang ako, nasundan na ni Toto. Grade 2, 8 taon pa lang, 4 na bata ang inaalagaan. Grade 6, 12 na ako, kasing dami na ng pamilya ko. Sabi mo, pasensya na, walang pera kaya mag-drop out ka. Ina ko, sabi mo kami mahal nyo. Ari ko, pati kayo nagplano. Sana hindi gutom at nag-aaral pa. Alaga't malusog ang buong pamilya.
Ang planadong buhay ay maayos na buhay.
And welcome back to the studio of Global Insight News. Let's continue with the latest updates. Today, we begin our coverage on a topic that affects millions worldwide, global migration. In this first segment, we'll take a closer look at what global migration is, as well as the different types of migration that shape our world today. Joining us today is Ms. Yani Cruz to provide the information in detail.
Thank you, Ali. According to Boyle et al. 1988, migration means crossing the boundary of a political or administrative unit for a certain minimum period. Migration consists of two types, which includes internal migration within a country and international migration between countries. Internal migration refers to the movement of an individual or group of people from one region of a country to another region of the same country. On the other hand, international migration is when individuals or groups move from one country to another. This could be reasons such as work, education, or even fleeing from conflict. Unlike international migration involves crossing international borders and often leads to the creation of migrant communities abroad. International labor migration has been a part of Filipino family life. The 2018 National Migration Survey, or NMS, found that 12% of Filipino households had a member who was or had been an overseas Filipino worker, or OFW. ARMM tops the rest of the regions in terms of highest percentage, having 24% of households with current or former OFW members, followed by Cagayan Valley, having 22%, and the Ilocos region, having 18%. In contrast, Caraga, having 5%, Mimaropa, having 7%, and Central Luzon, having 7%, had the lowest percentage of households with current or former OFW member. Overall, both internal and international migrations are complex phenomena that brings both opportunities and challenges. Whether moving within their own country or across borders, migrants are reshaping the world as we know it. As migration trends continue to evolve, countries will need to find ways to balance the economic benefits with the social challenges, ensuring that both migrants and host communities thrive. Back to the studio.
Now that we know what migration truly means, switching gears, let's now focus on the types of international migrants that makes up the diverse global migration. To provide more in-depth information, here's Ms. Carla Carabacan.
When we talk about international migration, it is important to understand that not all migrants fit into the same category. Broadly, international migrants can be classified into several types, depending on their reason for moving, the duration of their stay, and their legal status. We have 8 different types. First, temporary labor migrants, who migrates for a limited period of time in order to work and send remittances to their families. Second, we have high-skilled and business migrants, who are people who have professional qualification. They often enable an individual to relocate from one country to another for business or work-related reasons. Thirdly, irregular immigrants, also known as the undocumented or illegal migrants. They enter the country in search for employment with no necessary document and permits. Fourth, refugees, a person who has been forced to leave their country due to life-threatening situation, such as war and prosecution. Fifth, asylum seeker, those who move across border in search of protection. Sixth, forced migration, people forced to move by environmental catastrophes or development projects like new factories, road, or dams. 7. Family members, also known as family reunion or family reunification migrants. It brings the family member living different countries. And lastly, return migrants, those who return to their countries of origin after a period in another country.
Thank you, Ms. Carla. Now, let's move forward to the causes of migration, which will be discussed by Mr. John Michael Calvin.
Thank you, Jaira. Now, let us discuss what are the causes of migration. Every year, millions of people around the world move from one place to another. While the reasons can vary greatly, we'll break down some of the most significant factors driving migration today. These causes could be broken down into 3: economic, social, and political. One of the causes is the disparity in income. Income disparity refers to the unequal distribution of wealth and earnings across different segments of society. In many countries, the richest individuals and corporations are earning significantly more than the rest of the population, creating a stark divide between the wealthy and the working class. A World Bank report in 2022 ranked the Philippines 15th out of 63 countries in terms of income inequality. The top 1% of Philippine earners captured 17% of the total national income, while only 14% of the income was shared by the bottom 50%. Another is employment. People don't just migrate for any reason. Most are looking for stable employment that can provide financial security and a better future. Moreover, social well-being. When migrants arrive in a new country, the challenges they face go beyond finding a job. Adjusting to a new culture, language, and social system can create significant stress. Furthermore, according to neoclassical economic theory, the main cause of migration is individuals' efforts to maximize their income by moving from low-wage to high-wage economies. And lastly, according to Hugo, 1994, migration decisions are made not just by individuals, they often represent family strategies to maximize income and survival chances. And that's the causes of migration. Back to studio.
Thank you, Mr. Cobble. Now that we have analyzed what causes migration and how crucial it is to understand this phenomenon, let's now delve into another topic, which is the volume of contemporary migration, which will be reported by Ms. Diane Albiger.
Thank you, Jaira. According to data from the United Nations, figures show that global migrants stock grew from 75 million in 1965 to 120 million in 1990, which is roughly equivalent to 2% of the world's populations. In terms of the number of migrants, it grew slightly faster than the world population as a whole, but the annual growth rate of 1.9% of the whole period, increasing to 2.6% from 1985 to 1990, was not dramatic. It is important to note that international migrants remain a fairly small minority. Conversely, international migration is much larger. For instance, the number of internal migrants in India in 1981 was somehow 200 million, more than double the number of international migrants in the whole world at that time. The significance of migration as a major factor in societal change lies in the fact that it is concentrated in certain countries and regions. Migration affects certain areas within both the sending and the receiving countries more than others. Migration needs to take place in an orderly way to safeguard the human rights of migrants. Back to studio.
That wraps up our coverage for today. We've discussed the latest developments on global migration, highlighting the critical issues impacting our communities and the world around us. Thank you for joining us this morning. We'll continue to bring you the news as it unfolds. Remember, you can stay updated with breaking news on our website and social media pages. For now, I'm Alison Alberto.
And I am Jaira Navidad, and on behalf of our team, we wish you a safe and pleasant morning. Stay informed, stay connected.